I'm Cal Major, I'm a vet, a world record stand-up paddleboarder and the founder of Paddle Against Plastic. Society's recognition of the plastic pollution problem has increased significantly over the last couple of years. But there's still just one type of single-use plastic that isn't being discussed enough: period products. In the UK, we use 4.3 billion disposable menstrual products every year, and the majority of those pads, liners and tampons are made with plastic. So I want to explore what it means to do this sustainably. Firstly, we're going to speak to Jazz from City to Sea, an organisation behind the successful and growing Plastic-Free Periods campaign.
City to Sea is a non-profit organisation, and we campaign on the most common items found littering our beaches and our ocean. And Plastic-Free Periods is one of our campaigns which aims to prevent plastic pollution from period products. When it comes to tampons, pads and liners, there are kind of two problems with the conventional products. One is that they contain single-use plastic, which is contributing to the extraction of fossil fuels and therefore this bigger overarching picture of climate change. And the other is the way that people dispose of their single-use products. So in the UK, every single year, between 1 and 2 billion tampons, pads and liners are flushed down our toilets. And our sewers are not made to deal with period products.
But also there's a cost to our body's health sometimes with disposable products, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. The Women's Environmental Network have a lot of information on the health impacts of the chemicals in single-use period products. So there are some real concerns when it comes to putting single-use plastic inside our bodies or very close to an area of our body which is really high blood flow. If anything, more people can use these plastic-free products because there's so much more choice. With conventional products, people can only really choose from tampons, pads and liners, and if they don't work for their body or they can't afford them, most people aren't really aware that there are alternatives. So by having all of these different types of products that work in different ways, they suit different bodies, they suit different lifestyles, they cost different varying amounts, and there's still a lot of misunderstandings around the economics of using reusables versus disposables. It means that they should be kind of opening up the world of period products to more people.
So you touched there a little bit on the economics of period products and period poverty. Can you just explain a bit more about that?
This is a subject which comes up a lot with reusables, and there are also still a lot of people who think that period poverty is an issue in the global south, and they don't realise that actually here in the UK, a recent study by Plan UK found that 1 in 10 young people here had struggled to afford period products. If somebody's using big brand disposable products, they'll probably be spending between £1,000 and £2,000 over their menstruating lifetime. So when they start their period up until when they finish their period. But with reusable products, you're buying a product once that will last you between 2 years and 10 years. So you can actually save up to 94% of what you would have spent over your lifetime. And this is so important in addressing period poverty and kind of fighting for period equality, because lots of these reusable products haven't been made accessible to the people that need them most.
So have you seen the attitude towards this change over the last few years, and does that change make you feel optimistic?
I'm really optimistic about the future of plastic-free periods. We've only been campaigning since 2016, and already we've seen so much change. Last year we petitioned the government to make sure that they would be offering plastic-free products to schools as part of their period poverty scheme, and that was successful. So now people across the country in schools have access to menstrual cups and reusable pads. And we've also seen in the last year 8 new plastic-free period products introduced across 5 of the major retailers, so mainly supermarkets. So they're way more accessible on the shelves, and I think that the ball's just going to keep rolling, because it seems quite common that when people try reusable products, they just want to tell all their friends, and they're like, why didn't I hear about this before?
Through my Paddle Against Plastic expeditions, I've explored beaches the whole length of the UK, and I've found period products on remote beaches in Scotland, busy beaches in Devon. They're ubiquitous on the beaches that I visit. It's really saddening for me to find items that are really demonstrative of our obsession with convenience and single use. They're more common than single-use coffee cups, and yet we have this entire conversation around taking a reusable coffee cup to the shop when you go and get your morning coffee. So we need to talk more about the alternatives to plastic menstrual products as well, and switch over to reusables where we can. In 2018, I stand-up paddleboarded from Land's End in Cornwall to John O'Groats in the north of Scotland. That was the whole length of the UK. The purpose of the expedition was to highlight the amazing things that we can do to tackle plastic pollution, rather than just raise awareness. I was raising awareness, but rather than just focus on the facts and the negative impact that plastic has, was actively providing positive solutions that people can be proud to be a part of. I used a reusable menstrual cup. I was often on the water for 6 hours, 8 hours, some days I was on the water for 20 hours, and I was paddling for 2 months, and I really didn't want to have to worry about changing a menstrual product. I've found switching to a reusable period product's been a really freeing and empowering experience. As young people, we're taught about periods and we're taught about the traditional ways to deal with it, but I think oftentimes that creates a disconnect between us and our bodies. We're told about using a tampon and then disposing of it. I think it's so important that we understand how vital the products we're using for our periods are in maintaining our own health as well. It takes a bit of getting used to. You know, it took me a few months to get used to my moon cup, but I'd recommend sticking with it and just seeing how you get on over a few months, and seeing if you feel as excited and empowered by it as I have done. I feel really grateful to have been able to make that switch, and I really hope that more people can. The demand for plastic and toxin-free period products is growing rapidly. Consumers are demanding products that are safe for both their bodies and the environment, and businesses are responding. We all have the ability to protect what we love, so let's learn more about our waste, try a plastic-free period product, and connect back to our periods. We can empower people and the planet with plastic-free periods.